All right, we're showing live.
Not yet.
Oh.
It's still setting up.
Yeah, I think we started too soon the last time.
Yeah, I'm showing the icon here as being live.
Now it's ready. Okay.
Last year was a year we had the border accident and somebody was behind on Hitchcock for hours because that's a
Good to go.
And person came up on it.
All right, I want to welcome everyone to our committee meetings for May 11th, 2020. And before we get into the committee meetings, I'd just like to give a little bit of an update here that things have been moving very fast since Friday. And I'm not sure that we have more answers right now or more questions, but from now to Friday, things have changed so much. We started working on some regional plans on Thursday of last week. We worked over the weekend on them on both Hudson Valley region as well as the Capital region. And today the governor came out with some directives here for local governments and what the responsibilities would be. And it kind of put us right back to where we were before we started. So we're still working through all that that came out today. And I think, Warren would have maybe some more information on that as far as where we stand. But basically, we have a control room that's set up now. It's something that we've been asking for quite a few weeks as far as a point to go to put in these different plans or have questions answered. So there's a regional control room now for the Capital region that has some high level representatives on it. So at least we should be able to monitor once we are able to open up what the spread is throughout our region and be able to react very quickly if metrics change, from one day to the next. So that's a good thing. It's what we've been asking for. There's still a lot of questions out there right now. The Capital region has not been okayed to open up. There is a new website that deals with the metrics here, and we're just going to have to meet those metrics as we go. There's still a lot of question as to whether we can get those metrics moved at all that work better. The Capital region has a very high percentage of nursing home facilities in comparison to other regions within the state. So we feel that our region is kind of being held back because of that. We are pushing to move that a little bit. And I don't know where that's going to wind up, but that was again brought up today to those higher level folks that are on that control room team. So hopefully we get some more on that. We did, well, I won't say we received because I don't think we've got them yet, but I did get a call yesterday. We should be receiving 1,000 test kits from New York State. And Dan King got an email today that we should be receiving 1,080 test kits from the state between 7 and 10 p.m. tonight. So once we receive those, public health will need to go through them because the last batch came from the state, a fair amount of test kits that were leaking and unusable. So they're going to go through them first, make sure that everything is okay to use and get rid of the ones that are not. And in the meantime, they are already working on logistics of setting up a test site, multiple sites on multiple days within Greene County. So that's again another thing we've been asking for quite some time, and this will help us get going and get started with testing sites within Greene County. So just a couple of really good updates. Like I said, we still have a lot of questions and we still don't have all the answers here. But stuff's moving pretty quick today and over the weekend. Warren, did you have anything else to add into that?
I would just add that starting tomorrow, we will be pushing out messaging on the governor's reopening plan. He has a new website, a new guidance document, and there's something called a dashboard, which has the up-to-date testing metrics for each region. And on that website, there's the ability to answer ask questions. That's going to be answered by Empire State Development. So we're revamping our website to be more, leading more forward with the reopening plan from the state. So we're going to redo our website starting tomorrow, and then we're going to start pushing out through social media and email marketing to our businesses and residents. As Pat said, this changes daily, it seems like, but we'll be pushing out pretty much every day the latest message on what the plan is from the state, and then eventually what the role of the county is going to be as part of that reopening plan.
Thanks, Warren. And what we're trying to do is keep it pretty basic as far as the county's end of things, more to let businesses decide what they feel they need to do to make their business meet some of the guidance. I just feel it's not really the proper place for the county to tell them what they need to do. But we're certainly here for them to get guidance from as we can get it. So that's kind of our take on this and where we can go as far as being able to help our businesses get back open. And I don't know if anybody saw as well today, the governor opened up a few different things statewide, outdoor recreation and drive-in movie theaters. There's a couple things that they felt now that on a statewide basis could open, and that's separate from the regional openings of phase one. Sean, did you have anything on that?
I got a question, Sean. Hey, Pat, Tommy, I know you said you're getting 1,000. Are those unrestricted? Yeah.
Unrestricted for any use.
3 last week, right? And they were designated for care facilities such as the Pines, so on and so forth.
Right. These are unrestricted.
They're unrestricted?
They are unrestricted.
Correct.
And do you have a point of contact? You said there's representation from the regional control room. I mean, do you know who is our liaison person?
Sean Groden. So there's actually representation from each of the 8 counties that are in the capital region, and then there's representation from the top level down. They're all on that control room group.
Thank you.
Pat, who was the provider of the previous tests that were faulty? Who was the maker of them?
I don't know about the maker. We can probably get that from Penny. They're all coming out of New York State right now.
Yeah, the ones that were faulty were not the ones that we ordered on our own, the 700.
Right.
So the ones we have received are coming through the EOC system themselves.
Okay. All right.
And Pat, if I could, for clarification, we seem to be in 2 districts. Is that county government or county business? Are they going to be in Capital or Hudson Valley?
We are in Capital Region.
Okay, but the second process that we were reading this afternoon also had us in the Hudson Valley?
Yeah, well, that's a group that we've been working with because a lot of our industries reflect more Hudson Valley than they do Capital Region. But our workforce certainly reflects more toward Capital Region, and we are in the Capital Region district as far as the state is concerned for a reopening process.
Okay.
The Hudson Valley region was basically a working group so that similar industries would get the same information. We put people like the Zoom Flume and Wet and Wild together so that they weren't trying to figure this out on their own. One business is in Dutchess County and one is in Greene County. So we kind of put them together to say, okay, you guys, work with each other and see what kind of plans you can come up with.
Okay.
And so those are the kinds of things that we did with the Hudson Valley group.
As we're speaking, somebody just texted me, wanted to know which district we're in. They
No,
do
we're
in the
Capital Region.
automobile industry, so Capital. Okay.
We're in a capital.
So what region is Schoharie and Delaware County in, our 2 neighboring counties to the west?
I don't know which region they call that. If it's Mohawk Valley, it's not our region. No, they are not in our region.
But aren't they more similar in makeup of the counties than we are similar to Albany County, Saratoga County, Schenectady County? I
Yep.
mean,
Certainly.
Yep, I'd agree. The problem is we don't make that decision. The state has made that decision, and we're in a region that goes from Greene all the way up to Warren County on the west side of the river, and then the east side of the river, the three counties on that side.
And then Pat, we're also in that region for other things, not only this.
Yeah, that's our regional economic
We've been-
development region.
Right, we've been lumped into that regional economic group, probably for the last 4 years.
Yep.
So that's why they're consistent.
I mean, you had a good conversation.
I get that, but, I wanted to thank Sean and Public Health for separating the numbers for us. I saw that
Right.
now have a breakdown of adult care facilities versus the general public, so that's a good thing for our people to have.
Yep.
But I also emailed everybody a proposal that our assemblyman had put forth regarding the legislature to establish state government operations, processes, and legislative powers, and restoring the powers to the legislature as opposed to just the governor. And I think that we as a county should send a resolution in support of our Assemblyman Tague of making that stance. And, we have 3 levels of government: executive, judicial, and legislative. And perhaps it's time that we start having a representative democracy again. So I did email everyone that. I'd like to propose that for our government operations agenda for, I believe, next week. And we send a resolution of support to establish government once again and open up the 3 levels of government. Sending it to our Assemblyman Tague, Senator Amador. I would even go as far as sending it to Washington.
I agree.
Matt, that'll be on Monday's agenda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to discredit the region because I think we do have a good region, and and grouping together with Ulster County and Columbia County, but leaving it in our businesses' hands. I mean, they know how to run their business, and I feel that if we can get power established back to the legislative branch, we can really have a representative democracy again in Albany. And I think that's something that we as a county should be pushing a little bit harder on.
Yeah, and that bill has been drafted, and Chris is a signer on that bill.
Thank you.
Yeah, the supposed accomplished goal was to not overrun our healthcare system, and that has not happened. Therefore, the executive powers should be eliminated.
Correct.
And we get back to that. And I echo Matt. I'm sorry, everybody, that we keep getting direction from this state, but I have no confidence at all in them up there in Albany. Not at all. Pat, you and other people, Warren, these have all probably worked hard over the past few days to try to come up with an opening plan that would work and probably would work. I'd bet the odds it would work. And government in Albany basically shuts you down. So they basically don't give a rat's rear end about what you guys have to say. And they've been wrong multiple times. And I don't know why we keep listening to them. I really don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have a lot of trust in our businesses.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And quite honestly, if you're a business and you do business with nursing homes and adult care facilities, well, your measurements should be quite high. But if you're a landscape or construction, mushroom farm, resorts, we know how to do things. I'm really saddened that we cannot get through to this governor and that task force the importance of having a little faith in each other here to do the right thing.
Yeah, this new control room, it seems it will have a little bit more of a say here, and it's more directed now rather than the governor's office. It's a group that's specific for us, so that's what we're hoping anyway.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pat, have we brought our numbers from the adult care facilities to that control room yet? Are they considering that in our case numbers? That puts us over. If we did not have those numbers, we would probably be in somewhere in the area where we could open up.
Yeah, and they actually have them. They're the ones that are establishing those dashboards. They actually have those numbers, but right now they are not separating them.
No indication that they're going to break those out and put them on their own.
It was brought up by at least 4 of the counties today, including ours. and they are looking into it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I didn't mean to hijack our committee meetings here, but there were some significant developments that are just, it's literally hourly changes. So,
Good.
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
all right, let's move on with County Services Committee then, if Linda's available to do that.
I'm here. I'd like to call County Services Committee to order, and I don't have a time because it's blocked. But anyway, sometime after 6 o'clock. We have two proposed action items. The first is a budget amendment, Greene County Board of Elections, HAVA CARES Grant, COVID-19.
Lavera,
Handle.
Any
Okay, that was,
questions on that?
Vera and Handel,
Keller. Did you get that?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That item is passed. Number two is a budget amendment, Greene County Department of Social Services with Northeast Parent and Child Society.
Handle.
Vera,
Handel,
If I could.
Rivera,
Yeah. Handle Rivera.
any questions? Okay, any questions on that?
If I could just-
All in favor?
If I could just give an explanation, then this is a part of raise the age legislation that went into effect last fall. So we need, this was an item that I budgeted for. It's just taken a while to get the contract up and running. This is required for us under raise the age, and this prevents the institutionalization of the 16 to 17-year-old. And so this contract is similar to other contracts that we have with the same agency, to working with human service people to keep kids at home and rather than go into foster care, because if they get into foster care, then that means the cost of that comes to the county. So this is to keep kids not in the foster care system, to work with them at home or school, for them to stay there and not be institutionalized.
Any questions? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's passed. Anything else to come before County Services Committee? Not, I'll look for an adjournment.
Just one thing, Linda. Just
Yeah.
to follow up on what we've talked about before regarding the youth fair. I had heard from Alex Jonk, which I'll forward the email to everybody later. They haven't made any announcements about the youth fair, but I just wanted to go through what they had talked about. Their board has been having lengthy discussions, several conference calls with the Fairs Association. And with the nature of, our event, they don't feel that they can maintain social distancing, and they don't have any donations for funding for the fair. So they feel that there wouldn't be a lot of people that would attend. And as of right now, they're in decent financial shape, so they haven't had to pay out any expenses yet. But they felt it was in everyone's best interest to cancel the youth fair for this year. But they did ask if we had any input. If you do, I'll send you the email. You can reply to the email to them. Or if you want to discuss it now, I can email them back.
I mean, sometime.
Matt,
They definitely were considering canceling the youth fair.
Matt, when we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned they were considering something in the fall
Right.
weekend.
Right.
Is that off the table now?
According to Alex Jonk, who's their president, they had several board meetings and conference calls since we spoke. And they felt the best decision was to just cancel it because they were afraid we wouldn't get participation as it is. So they would not be looking for financial support this year either for that reason.
That's a shame for all those kids who have worked so hard all year.
Yeah.
Right.
Very disappointing, but I think they're I think they're looking forward and making the right decision, but it is very disappointing to the children.
Yeah, they haven't made any financial commitments to anybody yet, so they're not losing anything at this point. And they wouldn't be asking for us for any funding either. He did ask that, if there was funding that we were going to provide it to the needs of the youth in the county. And I think we certainly
It's
keep
very,
that in mind.
yeah, it's very unfortunate, but I think that's a very wise decision under the circumstances.
All right, so I'll forward this email to everyone so everyone can read it, and I will reply back to him that we certainly understand their concerns.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Handle.
I have Lennon. I need a second.
Handle.
Okay, Lennon handle.
No.
Give
We
us,
are adjourned.
give
Thank
us a
you.
second to reboot.
Oh, it's been awful, I know. Well, I definitely think that now that it's
Mr. Thorrington, you're on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tammy. Call Public Works Committee to order. I believe everybody is present. Looks like everybody is here. First action item, Federal Transit Agreement 2019-2020, Section 5311, Operating Assistance for Sponsors with the continuing operating agreements.
Hobart.
Martinez and Holbert, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 2, authorizing the county highway superintendent to advise for the replacement of County Route 6 bridge over to Westkill, bin 3-30296-0, Town of Lexington, pin 1760.21.
Make the
Buelich.
motion, Jim.
Handle.
Buelich and Handel, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jim, a question on this is for Bob or Scott. I don't know if they're on. Is this that yellow flag bridge that's we got to get going with, that we bumped ahead?
I don't believe either one of them are on. I believe
No, they're not on.
this is one that has been in the works for a couple of years now.
It's
Yeah,
been
it
like
was-
2 years.
Was it the yellow flag one that Scott or we were given some?
The yellow flag one is Harry's Bridge on County Route 31.
31 and Round Top. That's
Yep.
the yellow flag.
By all means, you better vote on that one.
Harry's Bridge.
Thank you, Jim.
All set with that one, right?
I need
Yes.
confirmation, motion by Buick, second by Handel.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's your confirmation.
Thank you very much.
Number 3, authorizing the county highway superintendent to advertise for the construction of County Route 12 South Street Bicycle Lane, Town of Wyndham, pin 1760.22.
Hobart.
Handle.
Hobart,
Noah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Over Handel.
So carried. Number 4, resolution authorizing the implementation of the funding and the first assistance 100% of federal and state intercelli program aid eligibility cost for a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds thereof.
Lennon.
Martinez.
Lennon and Martinez, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 5, authorizing supplementary agreement number 1 necessary for the completion of the design phase for County Route 23B over to Shingle Kill, bin 3-30328-0, bridge preservation project, Town of Caro, pin 1760.24.
Lennon,
Hobart,
Lennon and Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
You good?
So carried. Number 6, awarding bid to purchase materials, Highway Department.
Martinez.
Buelich.
Handle.
Martinez and Buelich, all in favor?
Aye.
Martinez, Buelich,
Opposed? So carried. Awarding bid for water, for washed and screened crushed stone.
Handle.
Buelich.
Martinez.
Handle and Buelich, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Number 8, awarding the replacement of Wolf Road Bridge over the West Kill bin 3-36359-0, Town of Lexington.
Martinez.
Lennon,
Martinez and Lennon, all in
Mr.
favor?
Chairman,
Aye.
Mr. Chairman,
Aye.
may I just give a little update here? This item and item number 4, if you would return to see the funding mechanism on item number 4 as well as this item. Since there is state funding involved here, if you think about our annual CHIPS appropriation, which I think is approximately 1.8 million a year, I am going to get a little concerned that this could be some of the funding that the governor sweeps away from counties. Since this is early in the construction season, I don't anticipate that all of the money will be swept. We can go forward with some confidence that these projects are intact. But as we get to projects that may be more in the pipeline for, July, August, also with a CHIPS funding mechanism, we may be completing the engineering on that, but pending how much money the governor keeps from us as he sweeps money for the state benefit, we may need to postpone some of these projects. But in the meantime, I would recommend that we continue with engineering and the paperwork. And then as the governor reports out, I believe on a 30-day basis. So April 3rd was to be the first date when he was going to report out. He has not reported out as of today. We will get an indication of where or what fundings he is sweeping. As you know, I'm in constant contact with NISAC, and right now the talk in Albany is that he is going to be consistently sweeping 20% of all funding sources that are distributed to local communities. So that would not make these 2 projects in jeopardy. But if that changes, and I would have thought that CHIPS authorizations would have been held free because of the economic impact that it has to the construction industry and the equipment rental industry, et cetera. It keeps people working, that CHIPS would have been off the table, but that is not the case as far as I know this afternoon. So I'll have to update you on a monthly basis as to where I see the money being separated from us.
I brought that up to the assemblyman as well.
You get an update once a month on that or more often?
No, the governor is supposed to release it on a 30-day basis, but
Okay.
his first one is April 30 and he's yet to release.
All right.
But it's also the first one. So maybe once he gets an understanding of where his own finances are at, he'll be more prompt with his execution.
All right. Thank you.
No pun intended.
Don't forget, we have a sales tax, another sales tax payment the 13th of this month.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's probably going to be a big hit, so we better be careful.
Agreed.
Sean, a question, Sean. These projects that are going forward, we're gonna have to obviously keep a tight eye on them. Change orders, additions, to keep keep to the original budget of that particular project. And I'm sure we're gonna do that, correct?
Absolutely. This time of year?
Yeah, I mean, our people in place, the highway and wherever else we have projects know, to keep a sharp eye out and keep the spending within the budget. Thank you.
Field conditions always reign supreme though, but yes, I understand your point.
Yeah, I mean, we really have to be careful. Thank you.
And Jim, I know I copied you on an email on this, but also to Sean. I think we definitely need to thank Scott Templeton for his oversight down at Dutchman's Landing, making sure that project went through. And if you haven't been down there, it looks great.
Beautiful.
Looks great.
I'm hoping that we can get
Yes, it does.
signage and perhaps label, especially the county event parking spots in the one lot, to get a sign that basically says, event parking, maybe putting the county logo on it, as an investment of what we did for the community down there to use that parking lot for our historic Casco Point. So special thanks to the village for their work and our guys. I know our highway department, the construction engineering department, and then in conjunction, Bill Smith putting in those windows down at the barn.
Did you see that?
I went down there the other day, and it's quite impressive. And for him and his crew to do that, that certainly saved our taxpayers a lot of money.
Did a great job.
I also wanted to propose that if there was any extra, if there was an overage in our budget for what we had spent for Dutchman's Landing, Mike had an idea about taking any of the extra and possibly getting a grant from the Wayne Spienberg account, and we go to an organization to take on that cost, and they can apply for a grant, so it comes out of that instead of the general, general funds from the taxpayers.
On the repairs to the point?
Yeah, if we went over budget in any area on that project.
No, that the asphalt is coming in under budget.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
Final numbers are not in yet, but I think there was less money on the T&L work than they anticipated.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I didn't.
All right.
If it wasn't under, it was right on. It was very close.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, I think it's definitely a good improvement and certainly helps us out for safety, and a parking area for our events down there.
Sean, I just want to add to what Matt was saying about buildings and grounds on the record. Bill Smith, Sean Rose, their whole team down there, the job that they did was phenomenal. The knowledge that they bring to the county is outstanding. And as Matt just pointed out, we saved a lot of money by doing it in-house, and they did a wonderful job. And I just like to publicly thank them.
Thank you. I will.
You should go down and check it out. You'll be impressed.
It's beautiful.
Harry, thank you. I will forward the message, but anybody who has not gone down to the point, I would truly recommend to get down there, take a peek at those windows. Great job.
Great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
Did we get a vote on that last one?
Yes.
Tammy, okay?
Yes, we're all set. We just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Make the motion.
Handle.
Hobart, handle to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Closed.
All right, we are adjourned. Please keep public health in your minds this week. They are swamped, completely busy, and now we're going to start opening test sites, hopefully. So that's not going to slow down for them at all.